First and foremost, to start this presentation off, I would like to introduce the Romulus VFW Post 9568, presenting our color for the ceremony this evening. There we go. I apologize, you lost power there for a second. If everyone could please remain standing. I'm going to introduce our police and fire department chaplains. Lieutenant Chaplains Brian and Michelle Major for our invocation.
We come humbly before you and ask for your presence here today as we gather together to honor a very special person, Corporal Charles Cawetzka. We ask for your blessing on this ceremony and that you continue to watch over his family, give them comfort and peace. We also ask for your blessing and support for all our past and present military men, women, and their families. We ask for your continued wisdom and guidance for the leaders of our nation. We thank you, Lord, for all you have done, all you are doing, and all you are going to do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. If you could also please remain standing for our national anthem. And this evening we will be honored to hear from Donna Rakuda from the VFW Post 9568.
Please join me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripe and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Donna.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd also like to welcome up the Boy Scout Troop 872 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome up to the podium the City of Romulus Mayor Leroy D. Burkroff.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our beautiful city. Welcome to this beautiful cemetery. This cemetery, we're here, as we know, to honor Corporal Cawetzka, but we're also, it's interesting that when we did our Wreaths Across America, we identified over 300 veterans that were here, so we're also going to honor them as well. So it's a special day for us here in this city. Obviously, I want to recognize some of the family members that are here. The Cawetzka family's here. We have a grandson, Bruce, and his wife, Marty. Are they here? Please wave your hand or stand up, please. Granddaughter, Ellen, and husband, Bob. Thank you for being here. Grandson, Mick, and wife, Laurel. Thank you for being here. Granddaughter, Karen and Ray. Are they here? Okay, we'll pass along our best to them. Granddaughter, Diane. Is she here? Okay. And then we have a whole slew of grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren to celebrate. And that's really what it's about today. We're here for a celebration. And I can tell you this, it's an honor to be able to have a recipient of the Medal of Honor in this cemetery. And today, Jan, when I went home and grabbed a bite to eat, just after I left, it was pretty cool. The Blue Angels flew over. They circled through this area and actually came over this area. So I think that's pretty fitting. And I think that was meant to be. I know they're here practicing for the air show, but that added to the flavor. So anyway, I just want to say welcome. Let's make sure that we join together and remember why we're here. We're here to give our respect and our honor and pay tribute to the awesome distinction and recognition of the Medal of Honor recipient. So with that, welcome and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening is truly an honor, as the mayor said, and while we're here this evening to honor one particular individual, there are service members around the world that are serving every single day, and in accordance with that, there are also some other Congressional Medal of Honor winners and recipients that we have posted on this board next to us here, and those individuals, while they haven't been able to be here this evening, some of them have reached out, and most of them at one point in time or another lived in Michigan. And I just want to also mention these other individuals. The first being Major Charles Kettles, who lives in Michigan currently. Private First Class Robert Simonek, who lives in Michigan also. Private First Class J.C. McLaughlin, who also lives in Michigan. Sergeant Peter C. Lemon, formerly of Michigan and now currently lives in Colorado. Corporal Dwayne E. Dewey, formerly lives in Michigan and currently now resides in Florida. And Robert Simonek wanted to make sure that it was recognized that he did call, but due to health reasons was not able to be at the ceremony this evening, and wanted to make sure that the family was aware that he is in your thoughts and prayers, or his thoughts and prayers this evening during the ceremony. With that being said, I also want to go down a list of some individuals who represent our city as well, and recognize them that they are here. First, you've already heard from Mayor Leroy D. Burkroff, our city treasurer Stacy Page, our city councilman John Barden, city councilwoman Tina Talley, city councilwoman Celeste Roscoe, City Councilwoman Kathy Abdo, City Councilwoman Eva Webb, and we also have representative from Senator Gary Peters' office, Chris Mattis, in the back here. We also have Councilman Bill Wadsworth. And we would also like to recognize 34th District Court Judge David Barrett. We're here on the side, I saw him come in. And State Representative Erica Geis. and also who came in today and was proud to announce that he is just newly appointed U.S. Navy retired Ponce D. Clay, who is the Director of Wayne County Veteran Services, who's also here this evening to make sure that the veterans are represented in the ceremony as well tonight. Thank you for coming. Next, to pay tribute to Corporal Charles Cawetzka, I would like to introduce a gentleman who's definitely done some research in this whole process, and his name is Greg Farina.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming. My name is Greg Farina. I am a veteran of the United States Army and a military graves researcher from Riverview. We are here today to recognize, pay tribute to, and honor a true American hero, Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Corporal Charles Cawetzka. I would like to welcome and thank the members of the Cawetzka family for being here with us today. Before I start, I would like to tell you the story of how I became involved in all of this. I was contacted by a friend on Facebook who was looking for the burial location of an ancestor of theirs who happens to be buried here. While doing so, I obtained a copy of the cemetery pamphlet which talks about Charles Cawetzka. I had no idea that there was a Medal of Honor recipient buried anywhere near me, so I had to pay my respects. When I visited his grave, I noticed that his headstone made no mention of him being a Medal of Honor recipient, so I set out to see if there was something I could do about that. The result of that will be unveiled here today. Charles was the second youngest of 4 children born to August and Johanna Lance Cawetzka on March 1st, 1877 in Detroit, Michigan. In approximately 1895, Charles moved to Chicago, Illinois, where he was working as a carpenter. On May 8, 1898, Charles enlisted into the United States Army as a private in Company I, 7th Illinois Infantry in the Spanish-American War, and was discharged on October 20th, 1898. After the Spanish-American War, Charles moved back to Michigan, where on July 10th, 1899, he re-enlisted into the United States Army into Company F, 30th U.S. Volunteer Infantry at Wayne, Michigan, and participated in the Philippine-American War. The 30th U.S. Volunteer Infantry was commanded by Cornelius Gardner and Major Matthew F. Steele. It mobilized at Fort Sheridan, Illinois from July 9th to August 5th of 1899. The regiment then left for San Francisco, California. On September 23rd, 1899, the regiment left San Francisco on U.S. Army transport Sherman. The regiment saw service at the Outer Manila Trenches in Schwann's Expeditionary Brigade through the provinces of Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, and Tayabas and Luzon. It garrisoned Tayabas province for 1 year. The regiment's losses were 2 officers and 30 men wounded in action, 8 enlisted killed in action, 76 enlisted men died of wounds and other causes, and 10 missing in action. On January 7th, 1900, Charles was severely wounded in both thighs during an engagement near Imus in the province of Cawetzka. On August 23, 1900, Lieutenant Charles V. Baer and 16 men were repairing a telegraph line when they were ambushed east of Saraya. During this, Private Lash was wounded. 4 insurgents attacked Private D.A. Cooney, who killed one and routed others. During this engagement, Sergeant Shortess rode a mule through enemy fire to Saraya for reinforcements. A retreat was ordered, but Private Charles Cawetzka remained guarding Private Lash, holding off the enemy with his gunfire of the insurgents until reinforcements arrived and routed the enemy. The regiment left Manila February 17, 1901, and mustered out at San Francisco, California on April 3, 1901. On April 17, 1901, Charles applied for a pension for his military service. On February 25, 1902, the pension request was granted. On March 14, 1902, Charles Cawetzka was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "Single-handed, defended a disabled comrade against a greatly superior force of the enemy." On December 2nd, 1902, Charles married Clara Cross in Wayne, Michigan. They had 8 children together. Charles Cawetzka died at Eloise Hospital in Westland, Michigan on October 23, 1951. Our freedom isn't free. It has to be fought for. And it takes men like Charles Cawetzka to prove it. I would like to thank the City of Romulus, the Romulus Memorial Cemetery Board Chairwoman, Jan Lemon, and all the other members of the Cemetery Board. And most importantly, to everyone who donated funds to make this day possible. In closing, I would like to quote the last portion of a poem called The Song of the Camp that was written by the poet Bayard Taylor in 1856. Sleep, soldier, still in honored rest, your truth and valor wearing. The bravest are the tenderest, the loving are the daring. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Preen Ophir, for painting such a clear picture in honoring our hero this evening. Next, I would like to bring up our cemetery board members, and they will be reading a couple special presentations for the family this evening. First, I'd like to bring up Jan Lemon, chairperson and lifetime resident of the City of Romulus. Kathy Abdo, councilwoman and representative. Sheldon Chandler, U.S. Navy, Petty Officer 3rd Class. Linda Choate, Romulus City Clerk, 26 years retired. Craig Plank, U.S. Army Sergeant, 9 years. Craig, here this evening. Jerry Winland, U.S. Army Sergeant Major, 22 years retired. You're going to read this down.
I have before me, City of Romulus, a resolution to recognize Medal of Honor recipient Charles Cawetzka. Whereas Corporal Charles Cawetzka served in the United States Army in the 1890s and early 1900 and was awarded for his action during the Philippine insurrection. And whereas in 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt presented the Medal of Honor to Private Charles Cawetzka for most distinguished gallantry on the 23rd day of August, 1900, while serving with the 30th Infantry, U.S. Volunteers, in action at Soraya, Luzon, Philippine Islands. Private Cawetzka single-handedly defended a disabled comrade against superior enemy forces. And whereas on Thursday, August 23rd, 2018, the city of Romulus will host a ceremony to unveil a new monument at Charles Cawetzka's gravesite to honor this Medal of Honor recipient for his heroic action that took place 118 years ago. Charles Cawetzka was a resident of the city of Romulus when he passed away in 1951, and subsequently he was buried in the Romulus Memorial Cemetery. And therefore, be it resolved, the honorable elected officials of the city of Romulus are proud to recognize Corporal Charles Cawetzka on this momentous occasion. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be presented to the family of Charles Cawetzka. Signed by the elected officials, City Council. Thank you.
The next special presentation that we have this evening is going to be from the VFW Post 9568, and they're going to present the family with a flag. But before they do so, I would like to read this certificate that says, "The flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol on June 15, 2018. At the request of the Honorable Debbie Stabenow, United States Senator, this flag was flown in honor of Corporal Charles Cawetzka for the bravery he demonstrated during the Philippine-American War and for receiving the Medal of Honor in 1902. Gentlemen. at this time, I'd like to call up Mayor Leroy Burcroft. And unfortunately, as I said earlier, one of our other Medal of Honor recipients was going to be here this evening to help unveil, and unfortunately he was unable to attend, as I stated earlier. So in his place, we are going to have Sheldon Chandler, who also is a Navy veteran, to help the mayor unveil the monument this evening. At this time, we talk about the military forces, but I'm going to talk about, for one quick second, a force that is to be reckoned with when it comes to the cemetery. And I believe everyone knows who I'm talking about. It's Jan Lemon. And this evening, I'd like to turn this microphone over for a minute to let her speak on behalf of this wonderful occasion this evening.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. I am just honored to be standing here for this very historic occasion. The city of Romulus has always recognized Corporal Charles Cawetzka. Every year he has received a flag from our veterans, standing here from our Boy Scout troop. As chairperson of the cemetery board, when you start naming people, you always leave somebody out. So with that being said, I just have to say the 200 people who came and ate spaghetti, we have to thank them. The residents of Romulus. And a special thank you to our VFW. We have to say thank you to all the city officials who back me every time I come with a brainstorm. So many in the city help, you cannot even begin to name them. They're in the city office, they're in the DPW, they're everywhere. And for them, I thank each and every one of them. We thank Greg Farina. He did the research and brought this to our attention. But what is most important to me is 118 years ago, what Charles Cawetzka did. He saved his fellow man. As Cemetery Board of Trustees, we cannot always make sure. Never fails. No, that's my husband speaking. He worked for the railroad.
Gotcha.
When the get his last words. Thanks, Mark. When the cemetery board takes something on, they make sure there's a true meaning to it. And this, I know I will never witness anything like it again in my life. I wish I'd have met Charles. He would have been so proud of you, each and every one of you. You are so gracious, kind, and humble. God bless your family. It has been an honor and a privilege to do this ceremony for you. All the veterans of America are with you today and always. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jan. Another round of applause for her. She deserves it. Next, I would like to welcome to the podium Marty Cawetzka, family member of Charles Cawetzka.
Wow.
It seems like the Cawetzka family has been saying wow a lot lately. Henry David Thoreau said, "And when we bring what is within out into the world, miracles happen." Everything leading up to and including this ceremony is a miracle for our family. We have been recipients of a miracle from all of you. When Greg Farina called and discussed his dream of honoring our grandfather, Charles Cawetzka, it was hard to believe. Greg's mission of honoring veterans is his life's legacy. He says he's just bringing honor to those who deserve it. Our family is one of many that Greg has helped through the years. It is because of his initial research effort and his passion that we are here tonight. Thank you, Greg. When Greg wanted to manifest his dream into reality, he went to the Romulus Cemetery Board, where he met Jan Lemon, the board, and City Council. They took charge immediately. It was General Dwight Eisenhower who said, "Plans are worthless. Planning is everything." Jan Lemon, the Cemetery Board, and City Council have been planning for many months to make all of this happen, from the fundraiser to this glorious ceremony. Magic wand waving comes to mind when everything that has happened starts to settle into our thoughts. But it is no magic wand. It was Jan Lemon, Greg Farina, and the Cemetery Board who made it all happen. Jan, it was your hard work, your dedication, and wanting to make memories for us while we honor our grandfather. Jan, your passion and persistence have created memories for our entire family that will last forever. You held a picture of success for honoring Charles Cawetzka close to your heart, and that in turn has touched all of our hearts. That's the secret of your achievement, Jan. Your heartfelt passion combined with your vision of success. We thank the City Council, the Cemetery Board, and you, Jan Lemon. We are all here celebrating the character of our grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather for what he did to deserve the Congressional Medal of Honor. But there is a lot more character gathered here than that of Charles Cawetzka. There's an old proverb that says, quote, "One can easily judge the character of a person by the way they treat people who can do nothing in return to them." The memory of Charles Cawetzka and his entire family have benefited from the character of everyone who worked or attended the fundraiser, and from the individual character of every person attending tonight's glorious ceremony. This ceremony and your attendance speaks volumes of the depths of your character. Each one of you makes our country better by honoring our vets. And each one of you has made the Cawetzka family so fortunate to be in your presence and to receive the goodness and kindness of your character. From the entire family here tonight, those who live out of state, and from the many generations to come, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you very much.
next, singing God Bless America, we are going to hear again from Donna Rakuda.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Truly an honor to hear her sing the national anthem, let alone twice in one evening with God Bless America. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to turn it over to the VFW Post 9568 to close out this evening.
Hey! Ready? Fire! Ready? Fire! Ready? Forward. Arm. Right. Face. Left hand. Arm. Forward. Arm. Quarter. Arm. Rain. Fist.
That'll conclude the